song. It's called From Lifestyle. How does it break? What's it help? That's that. From one verse to another, song. This goes on. I'm dedicating this song to my God's lifestyle. We're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. So I'm dedicating this song to my very same God. We're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. Down behind the sea, she's the heavenly. I will stay home. Sometimes it makes me cry and ask myself just why I chose this road. The sacrifice we made, the insults that we take, sometimes causes us to break down, it's right. Oh, I'm dedicating this song to my front lifestyle. We're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. I'm dedicating this song to my very same God. We're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. There's no surprise all. Sometimes we're mother, father, sister, and brother. We're educators and also we are counselors. We try our best not to cry when you ask us why. Your loved ones, they had to die. But God give us strength to swim the sound as we hold your hand and pray with you a while. And that is why. Welcome everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Lives and hearts. I'm dedicating this song to my nursing staff. We're the ones that choose to go. Lives and hearts. See what we proclaim. We'll be facing strife and pain. You may say it's the rule we should. Welcome everyone. Please invite a friend. Please share. Please share. Body fluids and waves. It's not a job you days to take. The concept of sleep. Welcome, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to those on HOD Radio Network, those in the U.S. Virgin Islands, welcome. We're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. Yes, indeed. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Wherever in the world that you are tuning in from, I want to welcome you all to Song on a Word, Glory to God, the Nurses Week edition. And this afternoon, this evening, we want to just give you a little bit of Health 101 on digestion. And it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful education. So it'll be good for you to get your notebooks and to take some notes. We'll be having a quiz at the end of the evening so that, you know, you can test your knowledge, and of course, you may win a prize. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. It is Nurses Week, and I want to say
a happy Nurses Week to all the healthcare professionals out there, those that are out there on the front line, those are in the hospitals, clinics, nursing homes, long-term care, group homes, wherever you're working, all the healthcare staff, doesn't matter what facility you work, doesn't matter what role you play, we want to tell you all thank you for your role and thank you for your hard work. Just want to say welcome again to Song on the Word, and we are going to start shortly. I just want to ask you guys to help us share, invite someone. Knowledge is power, and we are what we eat. And of course, health is wealth. So today we are going to learn a little bit about digestion, the digestive system, learn all about, different foods and, the parts they play in our lives. And we have practical nurse, 27 years behind her belt with us this evening to share and to help us learn together more about this. All right, so help me to share, invite somebody over, and we're going to have a wonderful time. I want to thank HOD Radio Network for carrying the show this evening. I want to thank WGM from US St. Virgin Island for carrying the show as well. For those of you on the YouTube or Facebook, welcome everyone. To the silent listeners, welcome. Please do indicate who you are, where you're coming in from, so we can acknowledge you, and sit back and relax as we share today, okay? So to all the nurses, all the CNAs, all the phlebotomists, hospital workers, whatever lab techs, whatever capacity you're working in, doctors, all the frontline workers, want to tell you thank you for your great work. And we're going to start just after this, and share and help me invite some folks over. Thank you.
Yes, the song is dedicated to all the frontline staff. Highly favored Blake wants you to know God's got you. From one nurse to another, this song is for us all. I'm dedicating this song to my frontline staff. We're the ones God chose to touch lives and hearts. I'm dedicating this song to my nursing staff. We're the ones God chose to touch lives and hearts. Sometimes if I could see the shift ahead of me, I would have stayed home. And sometimes it makes me cry and ask myself just why I chose this road. The sacrifice we make, the insults that we take, sometimes causes us to break down and cry. Oh, I'm dedicating this song to my frontline staff. But we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. I'm dedicating this song to my nursing staff. But we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. Nurses roles are parcel other. Sometimes we're mother, father, sister, and brother. We're educators and also we are counselors. We try our best not to cry when you ask us why your loved ones, they had to die. But God give us strength to slip a smile as we hold your hand and pray with you a while. And that is why I'm dedicating this song to my frontline staff. But we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. I'm dedicating this song to my nursing staff. But we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. tired days to take, the long hours on our feet, the constant lack of sleep, the ultimate sacrifice for our own lives. I'm dedicating this song to my frontline staff, for we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. I'm dedicating this song to my nursing staff, for we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts.
Yes, indeed. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome again to Song and a Word. I'm Highly Favored Blake. The song you're hearing is called Frontline Staff Reality, and this song was written at the height of the pandemic just to boost the morale of the frontline workers as they were battling the pandemic. And of course, we're still battling the pandemic. I myself continues in long-term care, geriatric nursing, but today I have my colleague with me to help us learn a little bit of digestion and a little bit of health 101 and tips and foods and different things about the digestive system, because of course we are what we eat. So it's a special edition today, the Nurses Week special edition. I want to say happy Nurses Week, International Nurses Week to all the nurses, all the doctors, all the CNEs, all the PSWs, all the healthcare workers in every single facility, institution, hospital, nursing home, long-term care, group home, wherever you are working, whatever faculty you're working. Want to say a happy Nurses Week and just continue the great work that you're doing out there. I want to ask you, those are on, to help me share. I want to say good evening to Sister Gillis Griffith. Good evening to Sister Natasha J. Those of you on HOD Radio Network there in West Africa. Those of you in the U.S. Virgin Island, WGM. I want to say welcome and good afternoon. Those of you on the YouTube, on the Facebook, silent listeners, good afternoon and welcome. So you are in tune to Song and a Word. We are here every Thursday at 4:30 or 5 p.m. as it depends on what's happening each week. So welcome. Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Welcome back. And I'm going to have join me at this time my colleague Corazon Sumue, and she has a very interesting, informative teaching for us this evening on digestion, your health, and you. So welcome, Cora. Welcome to Song on a Word for the first time. Welcome,
Thank you,
welcome. It's
thank
a
you.
pleasure to have you.
It's my pleasure. Okay, it's kind
Yes,
of
indeed. You
breaking
can
out
go
sometimes.
ahead.
It's kind
Say
of
it
breaking
again.
out. Yeah, okay. You hear me?
I'm hearing you clearly.
All
I'm
right,
hearing you
okay.
clearly.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone? I hope you guys are doing well, enjoying the nice weather. Okay?
Beautiful weather out here in Toronto.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful weather. I just had my walk.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. We better enjoy the weather while we can, right?
That's for sure.
Okay, let's go dive in. My name is Corson Samaway. I'm a registered practical nurse for what, more than 20 odd years. And during the pandemic, I decided to go a different route. I decided to take applied holistic nutrition, which deals with solving the root cause of our problems. I started in 2020 September, and I just graduated in April. So I'm a newbie in this field, and I want to share you about digestion with Nikisha here. I'm so thankful for you. This is my first time to join you, and
All right, of course.
I feel so blessed. Okay, so the topic of our of the presentation today is about digestion 101. Is First of all, I'm going to talk about anatomy and physiology, the functions. This is really very nursing. Digestive issues, root causes, about digestive healing, opening elimination pathways, emptying the barrel, the 4 R's, digestive support. And let me go to the next slide. I'm going to show you a picture of digestive system. Where's my cursor? Over there. I know you're only seeing me and Nikisha. Does anybody here doesn't feel good with headaches, brain fag, gas, bloating, indigestion, constipation, burnt out, anxiety, depression, multiple sclerosis, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, cancer, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, hypertension, metabolic syndrome? Is there anything else that I missed? You can add that condition to the long list. Have you figured out why, what, how are those happenings? Okay? Those are, we have so many chronic illnesses nowadays. Some common digestive woes are gas, which is very common, or flatulence, bloating, constipation, or diarrhea. These common digestive woes are the obvious, and the rest are not the so obvious woes or complaints that are listed above. I say everything in health stems back to or is rooted in our digestive issues. The health of the gut is very important to every single system in our body. Understanding what is going on in there in the digestive system will lead us or is the start of unleashing the probable solution to heal the person's diseases, digging the root causes and why. I started my health journey in November of 2018, trying to find the cause of my not feeling well, lack of focus, fatigue, can't sleep, bloating, gas, brain fog, heart palpitations. And mind you, I think I had depression and anxiety as well. Stress related symptoms like palpitation or anxiety or panic attacks would not show in Holter monitor testing because they are stress related symptoms. But if they are heart related, those will show in the monitor, in the Holter monitor testing, the one you wear for 24 hours. And the doctor would say, nothing's wrong with you, you're okay. It's just in your head, which is, you know, they think I'm crazy.
Right?
Right. Worst case scenario, the doctor will put you in an antidepressant drug or medication. And I didn't like to do that. So I find another way. As I said, I studied applied holistic nutrition in 2018 and just finally just graduated. And here is the anatomy of our digestive system. Nikki, can they see this one or no?
Um, you can play from your end, sure.
Okay, so I'm just gonna talk more about it. Where do you think our digestion begins? In the brain, in the mouth, where? I think it's both because even though we're only thinking about eating or food, it's coming from the brain, and then the active part is from the mouth. And two things are happening in the mouth. There's chemical breakdown of food assisted by enzymes, amylase, and then the mechanical breakdown facilitated by tubing, which is a very important active process. And during the mechanical breakdown, three pairs of salivary glands, which are the parotid, the sublingual glands, the submandibular glands, are related. And they release saliva into the oral cavity that helps with lubricates food while chewing, aids in swallowing the bolus, which is the food mixed with saliva. Therefore, carbohydrate digestion begins in the mouth in a big way. So if you eat some sugar or some carbs or breads, something like that, or rice, that starts in the mouth. But the problem is, especially the elderly, they have decreased saliva. As we age, everything is going haywire. We don't have a lot of it. There's an impairment. So when people age, they have decreased saliva. So one remedy for this is kimchi or fermented foods. They kind of aid in producing saliva to support feeling hungry. Remember, these people sometimes, I'm not hungry, I don't want to eat. So we can give that to them, something fermented like sauerkraut, kimchi, that
Mhm.
aids in digestion. Okay, and so the bolus, the food that's mixed with saliva, is called the bolus. That moves down into the oropharynx and slides up against the epiglottis here, right here. If you touch your neck, there's something in there. So what's the next part of the digestive system? Nikki, what's the next part of the digestive system?
The stomach,
The esophagus. It comes the esophagus. Yeah, the
digest,
stomach. Yeah, that's
digestive
a long
juices.
pipe where the bolus moves through the esophagus with rhythmic waves of contraction, and that contraction is called
Peristalsis.
peristalsis. Yeah, that is the action of squeezing down action that happens along the long tube that leads from the mouth to the stomach. And there is some mucus releasing happening to help with lubrication. So, okay, so if you, I'm sure you know where your stomach is, right? So, what is the
I
common
hope so.
problem? What is the what is the common problem in this part of the digestive system? What's the common problem?
A lot of times indigestion.
Indigestion, heartburn,
Yes. Reflux,
esophageal reflux disease, which is very common.
diarrhea,
And the common treatment for this is Tums,
antacids, yeah.
yeah, Tums, Santac, and something like that. So that,
Antacids.
yeah. So I don't know. I have never tried it, and I know a lot of people are
Well, I
taking it.
do have that issue ever so often, especially when I eat acidic foods, and it works like a charm. It does. A glass of milk does as well because the calcium neutralizes that acidity.
Yeah, that
And I
acidic.
tell
Yeah,
you, yeah, this antacids are good. We also have aluminum hydroxide, um, almagel. Those are very, very good. I had an incident where I had a terrible, terrible episode where it was just burning from my chest right all the way, like penetrating to my back.
yeah,
And I just had 30 cc's of aluminum hydroxide alma gel. And in about 5 minutes, I was like totally relieved. So stuff like acidic food, like pizza with the tomato sauce and the pasta with the tomato sauce and all that kind of stuff. Orange
yeah,
juice and that kind of acidic stuff tends to do that to me. And so I gotta be very
yeah.
weird
So
what
I
I'm
think that
eating.
you have to try to avoid that. And you know why we
Yes.
have that problem? Because we
Hmm.
have low, very, very low stomach acid in the stomach.
Right.
Yeah. So what happens when you take something like that? It kinds of lower down more
Hmm.
your acid in the stomach. So yeah. So we have to really take care of our stomach because the acid in our stomach sterilizes the bacteria. That
Right.
is, yeah, it's kind of it sterilizes the bacteria, and then it gives us a balanced bacteria. The good and the bad should be balanced.
Right. Hmm.
80% good bacteria and 20% good bacteria, which we don't have. Yep. Of course, in the stomach, it releases gastric juices that are highly acidic. I was
Yes.
just talking about this one to destroy any bacteria or parasites that may have entered the body. It sterilizes the bacteria and maintains the balance of good and bad bacteria in the gut. So gastric acidity is our first line of defense against bloodborne pathogens or microorganisms. And what's happening in the stomach? There's a breakdown of proteins in the stomach. The production of pepsin breaks down the protein. The chemical breakdown continues with carbs and is first introduced to those protein. The mixture of food in the stomach is called chyme. It's spelled CHYME. And now we go now to the fourth uh, digestive system, the one part, small intestine. The chyme moves through the pyloric sphincter and enters the small intestine. Small intestine is about 20 feet long, and it has three distinct parts. The duodenum, which is the upper part, and it introduces pancreatic enzymes to the chyme and bile from the gallbladder. Most fat digestion happens in the small intestine. Bile helps in the breakdown of fats.
That's right.
Therefore, yeah, impaired duodenum and impaired gallbladder equals impaired fat digestion. This is a very common for those people who have issues with gallbladder, and it can lead to, of course, GI complications like small intestine bowel overgrowth or SIBO, which is very common nowadays. And the second part of the small intestine is the jejunum. It's a tongue twister for me. It has a lining that specializes in the absorption of carbs and proteins. So from pepsin, which breaks down the protein, peptides, which break down further into their chemical constituents known as amino acids, which is the building blocks of our body for energy. And then the jejunum lets those amino acids being properly broken down and not leaked into the bloodstreams. That's why we really have to, well, especially if you have a leaky gut, that happens. The ileum, which is the third part, this is a very important part of the digestive system. B12 absorption happens here, as well as bile salts or whatever products of digestion not absorbed by the jejunum. The ileum is also largely responsible for much of immune system. And so the big thing is that in the small intestine, absorption is happening. It's the final breakdown of food, meaning it turns enzymes protein turns pepsin protein into amino acids, carbohydrates. The enzyme for carbohydrates is amylase. Amylase turns carbohydrates into sugar and simple sugars like glucose. And fats, lipase, uh, it breaks down fats into fatty acids and glycerols. And so what happens, these final products, which are we call microscopic nutrition, are then absorbed into the bloodstream and transported to cells to be used as, Nikki, can you guess? As nutrients for the cells. And it
Yes.
is the most important organ we can know about and understand for nutritional healing. So, and the five part of the digestive system is our, what's the next part? Our colon or the large intestine. This
Yes.
one is basically composed of water because it's other what's in here are other struggling nutrients and waste products move
Yes.
out of the small intestine to the ileocecal valve where ileum connects to the colon. It needs to reabsorb water and electrolytes from the remaining product into the bloodstream. And of course, the last part is from colon is very close to the rectum or the anus. And what happens in here is also very, very important. If you are constipated, which is really bad, that If you push too much during when you're constipated, that's not good. That's where the development of hemorrhoids are happening.
That's right.
Yeah, so poop is very, very important. Indigestible waste products move through the rectum and out the anus for elimination in the form of poop.
What goes in must come out.
Well, yeah. And I'm going to talk about the accessory organs of the digestive system. Any guesses? Of course, it's the teeth, the salivary glands, the tongue, the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas. One, two, three, four, five. These six accessory organs are very, very important in the digestive system, and we have to look
Can
after
you
them.
repeat those again? Can you repeat those again?
Okay, these are the teeth, salivary glands, in our parotid glands, submandibular glands, the
Mhm.
tongue, the liver, the gallbladder, and the
Yeah.
pancreas. Yeah. So we have to, these are all inside our stomach, in our these are called in the digestive tract. Now we'll talk about physiology. Remember anatomy and physiology, the, the functions of the digestive system. Number one, any guesses? Ingestion. Ingestion begins in the mouth, which is an active process. It involves conscious choice and decision making. You're thinking, oh, do I have
Ingestion
to eat
means
this? You
in.
have to eat that. Do I have to eat healthy, or do I have to eat candy or fruit, or you know, or brownies maybe, or ice cream cake? This is the stage of functional digestion. And the next function is mechanical processing. The processing of the food, crushing. It involves crushing and tearing of food that makes it easier to mobilize food through the digestive tract. Its function is to increase the surface area of the food by breaking it down, making it accessible to enzyme attack. Enzyme is very, very important. Some examples of mechanical processes requires the use of a muscle, shearing and mashing with the teeth, compaction and squashing with the tongue, peristalsis in the esophagus, the swirling and the mixing and churning in the stomach and the
So
intestine.
don't eat too fast. Take your time when you're chewing.
Take your time. They say you have to count 30
Savor
times.
the taste.
It's very, very important. It's just like chewing is like your death and taxes. It's a non-negotiable. You've got to do it. You've got to do it. Enjoy
Don't
your
cut and
food.
swallow.
Savor your food.
Hmm.
Liquefy your food. And it's good for your total health. Very, very good for total health.
That is right.
Yeah.
Welcome, Sister
And
Nigel. Welcome, Sister Charles GMS. Welcome, Neville Muir. Welcome to you, Tanika Rashika, Sister Karen Sutherland. Blessings and welcome. Welcome, everyone. We're talking about your health and you. It's a Nurses Week edition, and it's my colleague Corazon Sumue, and she is all caught up in health. So we're teaching you a little bit about digestion and the importance of eating well and staying healthy. And everything starts with what you eat, because we are what we eat. So we're learning today, and I hope you're listening very carefully. We're going to have a little quiz at the end. So if you have any questions, feel free to put it on the chat. We
yeah,
will want this to
we
be
have
very
different.
interactive as much as possible. So we're learning together today. So it's going to be a great afternoon. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining. Please do share if you haven't done so as yet. Welcome.
And thank you for listening. You've got to listen till the end. Okay. We all learn together. And of course, the third function is digestion. So it's a chemical breakdown of food by digestive enzymes. And here are the enzymes. Amylase breaks down the carbohydrates into simple sugars. The pepsin breaks down protein into amino acids, and lipase breaks down fats into fatty acids. And I have a very special note here. Molecules the size of proteins or peptides, which are chains of amino acids, polysaccharides, long branches of sugars, and triglycerides. It's a three-pronged chains of fats to a glycerol molecule cannot be absorbed in the bloodstream intact, at least not without causing problems. So they have to be on their simplest forms. And of course, secretion, which is very, very important, release of several substances from the digestive tract and glandular organs. Glandular means our endocrine organs, endocrine gland, the thyroid, the adrenal glands. Substances include the following. During secretion, this is what's happening. Water, there's more abundant in plant food, especially raw plant foods. Acids, hydrochloric acid, or stomach in the acid, or stomach in the acid in the stomach. Enzymes, proteins that act like keys to support digestion. This is the key that can act together, that acts together for proper digestion, for also metabolism. Buffers, compounds that stabilize the pH balance. pH means power of hydrogen, like alkaline and acidity. Salts are bile salts excreted by the liver and the gallbladder. Of number five function is absorption. It's a functional phase. And what happens in absorption is, what happens? Absorption. Just by coming from the word, those digested molecules like or electrolytes and vitamins and water cross into the interstitial fluid of the digestive tract. When things move from the outside world of the tube inside you and keep traveling through the tube into the bloodstream, getting absorbed into the cells. Nutrients are absorbed in one or three ways: via simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion, or active transport for the glucose and amino acid molecules that require some energy. On the side note, electrolytes are our minerals, sodium, potassium, chloride. What is the best source of electrolyte? You should know this.
Let me see if anybody have an answer.
What is the best source of electrolytes? The famous coconut water.
We have no answers on the blog. Go ahead and tell us.
Okay, and the sixth function of the digestive system, removal of waste products. This is where we poop.
Eliminate.
We eliminate.
Our nice
Elimination.
word is eliminate.
Elimination or defecation in our term. Defecation
You're right.
is elimination,
Nice
or
word.
just say number two.
Those are the nursing terms. Those you don't know. It's number two.
Number two.
And elimination is very vital to us, those of us who are working in long-term care
Oh
with
my gosh,
seniors.
it's like if
It
you
is
don't sweat, if you
it's
don't
our
sweat, something is
it
wrong.
it's our party. It's our party when we hear that elimination has happened, right?
Yeah,
Whether people
yeah.
are crazy or what? Yes,
Everybody's
it's our
happy
party
when you
when
hear
we
that
hear
word.
a patient as eliminated or number two, so to speak. It's our yes, so it is very
Yes.
important to eliminate.
And do you know how many times one should poo? How many times we should poo? We must have at
Well,
least.
that's a tricky one, but
Yeah, they say two or
naturally
three
you
times.
should go at least every other day, at least.
Oh no, you should have, because it's toxin in our body. If you don't poo, it accumulates inside, and you can be sick. It happened to me one time. I did not poo for a day, and I felt so sick. My body was just in
Wow.
agony. Yeah, because it's toxin. That's what we call, you can call it bowel toxicity. And it's one reason why a lot of people are sick. All right. There are other two functions of the digestive system. It's protection. And there are three major ways the digestive system is safeguarding the surrounding tissues of the body. It protects against the corrosive effects of the digestive acids and enzymes, because of the acids are very, very, it could be harmful and dangerous as well, but you've got to have the right pH level. The digestive system protects against all the mechanical stress. Those muscles are really working hard, you know. They say digestion is the number one stressor in our body, because you know when you eat fats, especially, the heart is working too hard. Remember those people who have heart issues? They should eat very, very slow. That's the number one thing they should do. The number three protective aspect of digestion, it protects the rest of the body from any foreign bacteria that came into the body through the food we eat or that already resides in the digestive system. And of course, digestive system is protecting our overall health, the other body systems, and the cells. If it is optimally healthy, if it is optimally functioning, the transit time. Nikki, do you know something about transit time? Transit
No.
time, is the time it takes food to functionally digest, assimilate, and excrete or to be excreted. How long does it take for food to travel from one end to the other? It depends on several factors: composition of the meal, psychological stress, gender, endocrine status, and medications. And a lot of people are having a lot of medication, especially the elderly population.
That's right.
Yeah, so medications affect those, especially if you're eating more of the fast food, the processed food, digestion is working too hard.
And of
Digestion is,
course, for those who are on iron supplements, that slows down peristalsis as well, the movement of the food from
yeah,
beginning to end. So there are medications that does impact um, the movement of your food throughout the digestive system.
yeah,
You got to be
definitely.
mindful of that.
Yeah, that's why they get those side effects. And of course, yeah, so medications are not really that helpful. It's not solving the root cause of the problem, it's just masking the symptoms. Okay, here are some statistics of the average transit times in a healthy digestive system. 50% of stomach contents are emptied about 2.5 to 3 hours after eating. Total emptying of the stomach occurs 4 to 5 hours after eating. 50% emptying of the small intestine happens 2.5 hours to 3 after the food reaches the intestine. Transit to the colon occurs in about 16 to 40 hours after eating. Because remember, colon is about 20 feet. Shorter is better, but not too short, or we miss out on that all important functional step of assimilation, which means where the nutrients consumed are actually absorbed into the bloodstream to be used by the body for energy. Here is the transit time of the macronutrients. Exam- the macronutrients are fats, carbs, and proteins. Fat takes the longest to digest. Constipation is a problem for those who have low fiber intake and high fat intake, especially if someone is taking saturated fat. Carbs are going to go the fastest, especially fruit, and digestion starts in the mouth here. For carbs, so it starts in the mouth. Proteins are the second fastest to move through the system. Protein digestion really begins in the stomach, where the protein molecules or the DNA are the tightly coiled structure. They begin to uncoil when mixed with gastric acid, which makes them available to gastric protease enzymes that can break down the proteins. Fact: the digestive system is about 30 feet long altogether from ascending and transverse. About 30 feet long from mouth to anus. Use your imagination. It could be the tennis court, big tennis court. And of course, there are many different terrains or stations for physiological activity to occur. The food we eat gets transformed into energy that fuels us in the form of simple sugars like glucose, fructose, and galactose, fatty acids, either saturated, mono, or polyunsaturated, or that are chemically hydrogenated. Hydrogenated is not a good word. Amino acids.
Let's think about that because we go into the store and we see butter and it says non-hydrogenated or hydrogenated. I think it's very important that persons know what those terms mean and which butter is good for them to buy and not good for them
You
to
you better buy the real butter.
buy.
Yeah, you better buy the real butter. Yeah, though they say buy the grass-fed butter, but they're quite expensive. And try to get the unsalted ones because the salted butters are really, really salty for me. Yeah, grass-fed butter is better. And try to use the real butter.
Not
Yeah,
margarine, but butter.
not margarine or no. I don't know about Besal. They say it's good for the heart, but it's not the real butter. Real butter is better. Or you can make your own ghee, which is much better. It's very, very simple. Next time, I'll give you the recipe for that. It's in 10 minutes, you
Hmm.
have the ghee, liquefied
That'd be
butter.
good.
Yeah,
Liquefied butter.
liquefied butter. And they're quite expensive. I make my own ghee. Very, very easy to make.
Yes, we got to take you back here to teach us about making all these things that you make, because I know you make a lot of things, a lot of healthy things. So we need to bring you back here and do a healthy food recipe X Y
No,
Z whatever
the
you do.
simplest one and one of my superfood is bone broth. You can either use chicken bones or beef bones or lamb bones or veal bones. Very, very good. The secret is you have to add apple cider vinegar. The apple
Hmm.
cider vinegar will extract all the vitamins and minerals in from the bones, and it's really,
Hmm.
really healthy. I make that. I use a pressure cooker. Pressure cooker, I cook it for 3 to 4 hours. And the
Wow.
bones are really soft. It tastes good. It's good
Hmm.
for you. It's good for us.
All
Do you have
right.
any digestive issues, Nikki? What are
No, as I said, just a heartburn,
heartburn? Yeah.
just a heartburn. So I gotta, of course, that's fixable. It's just preventative. Just be careful, mindful of what I'm eating. That's all. But apart from that,
A
I'm pretty
heartburn,
good. Yeah.
I can recommend to you, you know what, in the morning, what do you do in the morning? To drink.
Go to sleep.
No, in the morning, it's best to drink warm lemon water. Half lemon water,
Hmm.
squeeze it in you can put a little bit of honey or a little bit of, mine I put cayenne pepper for a little kick. It's
Cayenne
kind of
pepper. Hmm.
alkalizing to the stomach. It's very, very
Hmm.
good. Yeah, it's very, very, sometimes I feel like using apple cider vinegar, 1 spoon to 1 tablespoon, and I put a little bit of honey or a little bit of jaggery. I don't know if you know about jaggery. It's the simplest form of sugar. I learned that from Amanda.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
And
take one
here's
quick
something.
segue here. Just a quick segue. We're going to play this song one time, and I just want to say welcome to Marcia Henny. Blessings to you, sis. Blessings to you, Sister Sharon Simpson. Blessings to you, Pastor Eulin Brown. Blessings to you. Pastor Eulin Brown is also a nurse. We have two nurses on the line. Nigel Lewis Means as well as a nurse on the line.
Happy
I want to say
Nursing
welcome
Week.
to all. It's Happy Nurses Week to all the nurses, frontline workers, healthcare staff. Welcome everyone. Minister Jimmy Fagan, blessings, welcome to you. All of you that are watching out there on HOT Radio Network, on the US Virgin Island Network, welcome to you on the YouTube channel, Facebook, and the quiet listeners, welcome to you. We're talking about Health 101, digestion, and we're just giving you some tidbits. We broke down the digestive system, the process of digestion from ingestion to elimination, and we're just working our way through and speaking about different issues. We're talking about preventative measures and issues that are caused by digestion. Most of what we're faced with is caused by improper nutrition. So if we eat well, we should feel well. And so that's what we're talking about today. We're just learning together as we go along. If you have a question, feel free to ask. And we want to be an interactive segment. We're going to ask you some questions at the end for a quiz. So do pay attention. And let me just play the song one time and we come back and we will continue. So thank you all for joining us this evening. Thank you.
Yes, the song is dedicated to all the frontline staff. Highly favored Blake wants you to know God's got you. From one nurse to another, this song is for us all. I'm dedicating this song to my frontline staff, but we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. I'm dedicating this song to my nursing staff, but we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. Just why I chose this road. The sacrifice we make, the insults that we take, sometimes causes us to break down and cry. Oh, I'm dedicating this song to my frontline staff, but we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. I'm dedicating this song to my nursing staff, but we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. Nurses roles are past all other. Sometimes we're mother, father, sister, and brother. We're educators and also we are counselors. We try our best not to cry when you ask us why your loved ones, they had to die. But God give us strength to slip a smile as we hold your hand and pray with you a while. And that is why I'm dedicating this song to my frontline staff, but we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. I'm dedicating this song to my nursing staff, but we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. days to take, the long hours on our feet, the constant lack of sleep, the ultimate sacrifice for our lives. I'm dedicating this song to my frontline staff, for we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts. I'm dedicating this song to my nursing staff, for we're the ones that chose to touch lives and hearts.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. And the song is called Frontline Staff Reality. And I just wrote that song in dedication to the nurses on the front line during the pandemic. I can tell you it was a very stressful time at the height of the pandemic, and you can all relate to that, those of you who are out there working still. Thank God it's not as bad as it was, but at the time I wrote the song to just boost our morale on the front line. So welcome everyone. Thank you again for joining us. And we're talking about your health and you, Health 101, and the topic is digestion. So feel free to ask any questions you may have and to interact with us, all right? Okay, we have Corazon Sumaway, registered practical nurse over 27 years with us, and she's a little bit of a digestion guru. So welcome again, Cora, and you can pick up back from where we left off.
Okay, thank you, Nikki. Okay, so some digestive imbalances, the root causes, as I said earlier, is the low stomach acid. And it's caused by eating processed food, or we call it junk food, low fiber intake, decreased enzyme, and as we age, the enzyme is decreased. And then, of course, if somebody is smoking, consuming a lot of tea or coffee, and of course, medications, especially the PPIs, proton pump inhibitors like Santac, TAMS, and other stuff. Of course, diet high in meat will also cause low stomach acid because meat is kind of very acidic to the body. Dairy products and fast foods, drinking ice cold water is also not good for the stomach. Poor food combining like protein and sweet should not be combined together, should not be eaten together. It causes too much acidity. Larger heavy meals, low salt intake, dehydration, microwave foods, and of course, stress. Stress is not good for our digestion. That's causing low stomach acid. The effects of low stomach acid are some. I have a long list here. Poor absorption of all minerals like calcium, magnesium, chromium, iron, manganese, potassium, selenium, and zinc. Leaky gut or gas, bloating, bad breath, flatulence or gas, burning sensation or heartburn, heavy tired feeling after eating. Stools are poorly formed, pale, greasy, and floating. That's why what they say, when you poo, you got to look at it and say goodbye to it and see what it's like. You check the color, if it's floating or if it's sunken on in the toilet bowl. Sorry about that. I hope no one is eating at this time.
Nurses have no apologies for talking about number two. It's actually our very important topic of the day on the field. It's our
Oh my
exciting
God,
topic.
very important. Yeah,
So
very.
for those of you who are not so inclined, we're sorry, but we're not. Yes, it's very important. So yes, your stools determine a lot of things, and of course, the color, the consistency, you know, the amount, all that determines a lot of what's happening with your intestinal and your digestive tract and system. So it's very important to note when you go to the doctor, they may ask you, you know, you say you're feeling a certain how, they may ask you how was your, you know, your bowel movement. So you got to be able to identify and to describe how it was. You know, of course, there's rectal bleeding, there's GI bleeding, there's so many things that your stool can diagnose. So it's very important to know, you know, what's normal stool and what's abnormal stool, and so to speak. So I put it
Yeah,
back
and
over to
those who
Cora.
are on iron pill, the poo is kind of black, right?
It's dark, yes,
Yeah,
and that's
dark.
natural. That's
Yeah.
that's natural.
So don't be
If you
alarmed.
peel banana, as you guys may notice, those of you who eat green banana from the Caribbean and wherever, when you peel banana, you notice all the skin becomes black after you peel it. That's the iron in the banana. And so the iron supplements that you take, you know, it does show that in the stools as well. You can have very like chalk black, and it's normal because you're on iron pills or you're
Yeah.
in iron rich supplements of iron. So that's normal. It's very important to note, you know, color, consistency, amount, that kind of thing where your stool is concerned because it will help you to determine what's happening to you. Yes, so that's very important. Yeah.
Yeah, same as you pee or urine. That's why you have to check. You have to say, look and say goodbye. And so picture it in head. What picture it in your head? What you see? Yeah, those. That's very. So you can have a vivid explanation of what's in there.
Right, right.
Yeah, and
It's good to
also
know what's
some.
abnormal so you can know how to recognize something quickly. I mean, early diagnosis of any condition is vital in, you know, in recovery, right? So it's very important to know, have an idea what's normal and what's not.
I have
So,
a question for you, Nikki. Do you think we are supposed to go past gas or no?
oh, most definitely.
No, we're not supposed to pass gas.
We're not supposed to pass gas.
No,
Ah.
there is fermentation happening.
Mm-hmm. You're muted, I think. Hold on.
I
Okay,
think
there you are.
I have a
Say it
phone.
again because this is very interesting. I I disagree, but go ahead.
There's a lot of things happening if we are passing gas. Remember, sometimes the smell of gas, it depends on what you eat. It smells
Mhm.
bad. Sometimes it doesn't smell. There is
Somebody
ferment.
on the chat said, "What?" Because if there's somebody on here who does not pass gas, then I would think you're abnormal. But let's hear what Cora has to say about this.
Okay, think about the car, right? You know the
Hmm.
car. If it's not properly maintained, it doesn't run good. It's not smoothly running, and it could you can get stranded in the car if it's not running properly. So
Right.
it's not. We have to have a clean digestive system. So we're
Hmm.
not supposed to pass gas. We have to maintain it like a car. There is a fermentation or decaying happening in our
Hmm.
colon. That's why we pass gas.
Fermentation and which? Sorry.
Decaying of food.
So the food is in the stomach too long. Is that why it's decaying?
We're not getting it out. It's not being eliminated.
It's not being eliminated in a timely manner.
Yeah,
You're saying
it depends also on the transit time. The normal transit time is about 72 hours. If it's
72
longer,
hours.
yeah,
You did say
no, more
72,
than
as in 3 days.
yeah. It depends
Mm-hmm.
on what you eat. If you eat uh, raw vegetables or salad,
Mm-hmm.
it has lots of enzymes,
Right.
and they're very digestible because
Right.
it helps you with digestion. If you eat a lot of meat, it doesn't the stomach doesn't like it. It gets so much acid in there. So that's why we need enzymes. We need raw plant foods, those foods that are agree with our stomach. Fermented foods are very good. Bitters like arugula, bitter gourd. Those what else? Rapini is very good.
So rapini, for us in the Caribbean, from us from Jamaica, rapini will assimilate to callaloo. Okay, so the
I
dark
love your
green
I love your
vegetable.
callaloo.
You love my callaloo.
I love Kalaloo. I got a bag last year from Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
I watched them really good. I I check YouTube how to how
How
to
to
do
make
it.
callaloo and saltfish?
Even to clean it is kind of
You gotta strip it. It's a bit time
yeah,
consuming. Mm-hmm.
strip it and then oh I had a big bag. I had a big one bundle is I had it in the black bag. It was
Oh,
so
wow,
good.
that's a lot.
I really enjoyed it. So this time it's time to get Kalaloo again. It's summertime.
So let me speak to our Caribbean folks. We love a lot of starchy foods and a lot of dumpling and yam and of course you gotta remember the yam. You cannot not forget the yam. You gotta remember the yam. But
Root
so
root
in terms
crab
of
vegetables are
digestion,
good.
these starchy foods are our worst enemies. Is that what you're saying?
No, those are good as long as you know where you grow it.
Okay, so the foods that are making us staying in there long and fermenting are what kind of foods?
Meat,
Meat. So it's best
beef.
to so you're saying it's best to become a vegetarian.
No, no, it's not good also to be a vegetarian. You're gonna be missing in iron
Iron
and
and protein.
B12.
Okay. So what are we supposed to do then? We're supposed to cause hey, gas is
Now, you know everything in moderation. Everything in
right.
moderation. Everything in moderation. Take something for your stomach like apple cider vinegar. Warm water is better instead of ice cold water. I know a
Hmm.
lot of people at work they like ice cold water. And also when you are eating, don't drink. You can drink before you eat, an hour or a half hour before. While eating, don't drink. I don't drink when when I'm eating
Why is that?
because when you drink, the water just kind of wash down the enzymes.
Oh, so
Because
the goal is to let the enzymes be very poignant
make
in the
them
stomach
work.
while the food or
Yeah,
when the food is there.
yeah.
So then a good rule of thumb is to wait for what half an hour after you eat before you drink.
You
But
can
some food
you drink before a half
Mhm.
hour or an hour, and then the same thing after an hour or half hour.
Very interesting. Does anybody have any questions? Blessings to you, Sister Sharon Simpson. Blessings to you, Evangelist Melvina Thomas. Welcome. We're talking about digestion, the system, the process from ingestion to elimination, types of foods that are good and types that are not, and things that affects and impacts digestion. And we were just told that it's not good to pass gas.
Actually, I still have that problem. I still have fermentation happening in my body.
I don't think there's anybody on here who has not got fermentation happening. It's
And of course
natural.
it has something to do with the liver too. Remember the liver is
Hmm.
the detox it filters everything.
Right?
So the liver has a problem, some issues too. It's either congested or the most common problem with the liver is the fatty liver they call it
Fatty
because
liver. Mhm.
of eating processed foods, more meat, sweets. It's we have to love our liver. Liver means love, live. That's what I'm learning. It's very
Love your liver,
interesting.
guys. Love your
Love
liver.
your
Avoid the
liver.
processed food and the fatty foods. Blessings to you, Minister Fitzroy Jackson. Welcome. Blessings. Yes, indeed. We're talking about digestion. We are what we eat, and so it's very important to know how to eat, what to eat, and what's not normal with our elimination as well. And we don't want to be gross, but we're nurses and we talk about elimination in a very happy way.
And you
So,
know what, Nikki? Because
listen
we
to
are
you, Minister Desmond
nurses,
Miller. Welcome. Yes, indeed.
we eat fast, right? As
Yes,
nurses, we eat fast because
we don't have time
we
to
are
eat. Yes,
always
we're always on the
rushing.
run.
Yeah, so I have some recommendations for us, for those who
Hmm.
are fast eaters. Make
Yes.
sure you know when you before you eat, you say the grace. Of course, that helps. Very very important. Be grateful. And then it says here half a teaspoon of Celtic salt, or have some zinc, because zinc is also very
Zinc,
very good. It's a mineral that's
zinc
that
supplement.
do a lot of good things for our body, especially those who have a balance problem
Mm-hmm.
or vertigo. A lot of
Vertigo.
older people. Yeah, zinc is very very good. Eat smaller meals more often. Avoid red meat, dairy. Avoid processed food and alcohol. So avoid those
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And while we were just talking about this, do not drink too much when eating. Avoid ice cold water, because ice cold water shuts down the digestive process. It kind of,
Shuts it down. Wow.
yeah, yeah, because it's cold. When you are cold, you kind of everything constricts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what happens.
Wow.
Well, if you want to have some sips of water, take only sips, and it should be room temperature water.
Room
Not
temperature water don't taste good.
Well, you can put a little bit of lemon, or you can put a little bit of fruit like strawberries or berries. You know, make you can improvise. Like, you can
Okay,
use
we have a
liver.
question coming in. Jimmy Fagan is asking us to emphasize on what sort of diet leads to diabetes. Is it sweet stuff we eat and drink, or is it the starchy foods?
Is the sweet stuff, the junk food. It's the sweet stuff and the junk food. The body is not eliminating properly. We have our elimination pathways like the skin, the liver, the lungs.
Mhm.
What else? For women, we have menstruation, and what else? What else are the elimination pathways? Yeah, so we eliminate the skin is very the larger one because we sweat, right?
Yes.
The liver, of course, the lungs, the skin, our adrenals. Those are some elimination pathways that we have to. Let's say in nutrition, you have to open the doors, or those doors must be open, because if you are doing something and the doors are not open, it's not gonna it's not gonna
Everything
work.
gets shut in and nothing escapes. So
Nothing.
we
And
build the
of
build.
course, the lymphatic system is very, very important.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So it's the sweet, it's the junk food. Sugar
Sugar
metabolism is
is
not
your
working.
worst enemy. Let's say that. Sugar is our worst enemy of our digestive system. Sugar
Yeah.
and salt.
Well, in replacement for
It's a little bit,
sugar,
but
I use cinnamon powder.
cinnamon powder to replace sugar.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
put it in my if I drink coffee sometimes. Yeah, I put it in my oats, in whatever, in my chia pudding. I use a lot of cinnamon. Yeah, that is very good to control or to manage blood sugar. And of
To
course,
optimize blood sugar, cinnamon is good. Okay.
yeah, cinnamon. Cinnamon is really really good. Okay, so let's go. Avoid caffeinated beverages.
So
Okay.
avoid all the pop, all this pop,
Oh
Coke
my God,
especially. That's a killer. That one has the
that is
whole
the
2 day
worst.
supply of sugar in it in one can alone. That's
That
yeah.
is the worst. I know they are addictive, but that's not good for the stomach. Yeah. As I said, take time to eat. Do not rush. Savor the food and enjoy. We were talking about that earlier. Food combining. Avoid protein and sweets to avoid putrefaction or decaying or rotting in the body or other organic matter manifested by gas, bloating, and foul odor. This is the
Hmm.
putrefaction that we were talking about. We're not supposed to pass gas.
I don't know about that.
And of course, hydration. Drink room temperature water and make sure you have clean source of water. Drink warm lemon first thing in the morning. It's very alkalizing. And if you want to supplement, you can use digestive enzymes and probiotics. Probiotics are very, very good. especially for those who are taking antibiotics.
Yes. Bear
Yeah,
that in mind, guys. Questions are coming up. Probiotics are very, 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 very important for the stomach.
very
And what
important
are
for.
what are types? What are the types of probiotics?
Oh, there are
Some of
all
the types of
kinds.
probiotics.
There are all kinds,
Yeah.
but make sure you get the good quality ones because sometimes if probiotics are kind of expensive, especially if you get the high end one. There's you know what they say. There's high end,
Right.
middle end, and low end. Try to get in the higher one, and it's
Mhm.
it pays to invest in our health. Yeah, we should
Right.
invest in our
Only one
health.
body we got, so we have to make sure that we treat it right. When it
Yeah,
breaks down, everything else breaks
we
down. So
we are made from
very
the image
vital.
of God, right?
That's right.
So we have to look after that body.
Amen.
And of
Yes,
course,
indeed.
yeah, we are going now to the liver gallbladder issues, which is very, very common nowadays.
Mm.
Yeah, the fatty liver, even those who are not drinking alcohol get fatty liver from processed foods, junk foods, sweets, and of course, the environmental toxin. We have toxin inside our houses, in the, like from paints, the
Mhm.
carpets, the furnitures, and of course we have EMF, electromagnetic field. This is very, very bad for our health. Yeah, those are very, very bad for our health. When I was taking my nutrition nutrition and environmental class, I got so depressed.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god, I was shocked knowing these things like pollution, the air,
Hmm.
uh, the chemicals they put in the food when in the farms, because
Yes.
agricultural revolution is so bad. Yeah, standard American diet is so bad.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
If we can
And
grow our own, it'd be great. But unfortunately, most of us can't in this part of the world. So
yeah, yeah.
we're in a
So we
situation. We're in a
should pay
bind.
attention. We should pay more attention to what's happening in our environment, because those things are affecting our body big time.
Yes.
Okay, so I have some supplements for liver: vitamin C, magnesium, choline, zinc, and they're also good for the bile. Low bile salts results in light colored floating stools. And of course, we need our antioxidants.
Sorry, let me disrupt you for a second. Um, so when we see our stools floating, it is because there's too much fat.
You got that right.
Okay.
Yeah, 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 that's true. And basically, the same causes for liver gallbladder issues: diet high in refined carbohydrates, viral hepatitis, smoking and medications, gallstones and gallbladder removal. Low stomach acid again is here, because I cannot emphasize enough the importance of uh, good stomach acid. Diets high in moldy foods like peanuts, popcorn, corn chips, dried fruits, packaged cereals. Packaged cereals are only full of sugar.
Mm.
Yep. Yeah, and
That
you
is
should.
my cereal, especially my cinnamon toast crunch. I'm sorry.
We were talking about environmental toxins, alcohol, and of course, stress, anger, anxiety, and depression. And of course, when we have these problems, we have low essential fatty acids and hormones. We have hormonal problems, arterial plaquing. I've got to show you the picture of my arteries when I did my live cell microscopy. I was crying. I had systemic stress.
Mm.
I have lots of inflammation. Still, you know. Low tolerance to alcohol and sugar, fast, greasy foods cause nausea and headaches. Yellow clay color, foul odor stools when you have liver, gallbladder problems. That your stools are floating, they're pale and greasy. You have pain on the inside of the right shoulder here, and you have there's bad breath, taste in the mouth, and excessive body odor, consequent gas and bloating, especially from onions, cabbage, and radishes. Onions, cabbage, and radishes and cucumbers are good sources of food. They are good sources. We have to eat them.
But don't they cause? But there are foods that cause gas though, like cabbage
Yeah.
causes gas, and broccoli.
Fermentation. Because I do my own sauerkraut, it doesn't give me gas. And
But cabbage on its own sometimes gives you gas.
but guess what? Cabbage, raw cabbage, if you juice
Hmm.
it, it's very good for someone with ulcer.
With ulcer.
Yeah, with stomach ulcer.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very very good. Uh, it, providing what the one you're juicing is organic. You know where it came from.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Plant it in your backyard and you're sure that there's no pesticides or all those sides attached
yeah,
to it. And
yeah.
that word
That's
sides
true.
mean killers. So we hope that we're not putting the food with the killers on top of it. If we can plant our own, it'll be great, you know. But I guess
Especially if
we just gotta bless our food before we eat it and ask God to remove all the toxins and all the
yeah,
things
yeah,
that are impurities that are on it, because we're not so privileged in this part of the world in this winter months to plant stuff in our backyards and stuff.
yeah.
So
Well,
and the
yeah.
organic stuff that they call organic are quite costly.
It's very,
So
very expensive. And you know what I do with my vegetables and fruit? I wash them or soak them for 10 minutes with salt, sea salt, and sometimes I use vinegar.
vinegar and sea salt, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So, so
yeah.
that's a way to take out the toxins off of it.
Whatever chemicals they put in there. Because even though they say it's organic, are we sure it's organic?
We're just taking their word for it, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
unless you were the one who planted it and you have your own garden and vegetable garden,
You can't really
away
tell for
aw-
sure.
away from the streets, away from the road.
Right.
Because the gas, the combustion, all those are toxins. Okay, so and of course, when you have digestive problems, most likely you don't absorb the nutrients.
Hmm.
And I have a statement here: a healthy colon is a rare condition nowadays. Many
Yeah.
diseases prevalent in the society can be linked to a lazy, underactive colon, the producer of toxic waste, which is then reabsorbed into the system. And of course, it gives us what we call those chronic diseases like diabetes, thyroid issues, because our
Hmm.
body is all connected. It's only one unit.
That's right.
Yeah, so the body, we have to have our digestive system working optimally for us to be healthy. And of course, don't forget the water.
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
if you have low stomach acid, most likely you have problem with absorption. And of course, the one common problem also is diarrhea. So be mindful of what you put in the body.
Very
For
much so.
const- yeah, I have some recommendations here for constipation. Eat fiber-rich foods like flax.
Fiber-rich foods,
Very,
as
very
in
important.
grains, as in fruits and
Oh,
vegetables,
no, like the flax, the nuts
flax,
and seeds. Yeah,
mhm,
and for fruits,
nuts,
there's the plums, the prunes,
right? Those ones.
raisins. Yeah, and
Mhm.
vegetables. Eat fresh, whole vegetables. Whole foods are better than the processed kind.
Yes, no frozen vegetables, natural, fresh vegetables.
Yeah, raw, plant-based. Yeah, raw, like, lettuce. I don't know if I try to incorporate vegetables every day in my meal, which is very, very important.
Yes.
Okay, so most likely we have also lactic bacteria problems because we don't consume a lot of fermented foods or probiotics. Probiotics is also good for immune system. Yeah, especially those who are using antibiotic, they should have probiotics in them. Or some examples of probiotics are kimchi, kefir. I don't know if you know kefir.
Yes, it's
It's
some
like
kind of yogurt.
fermented, yeah, fermented milk or something like that. Like or yogurt, you can have yogurt. And what else? Tofu, kimchi, tempeh. I'm talking about tempeh is also very, very important.
Hmm.
And I have here digestive healing. Number one in my list,
Okay, pay attention now. Digestive healing, number one.
chew your food well. Chewing is very, very important. Colon massage, do this one.
Oh,
Your
rub your
stomach.
stomach, you mean? Rub your
Yeah,
stomach?
yeah. It also stimulates whatever is inside there. I
Okay.
I have I do this every morning. I have a routine that I do 5 minutes when I wake up or while
Wow.
I'm still in bed. Gentle exercise like walking is very, very important. Yoga
Hmm.
poses. Right now, I'm in a yoga pose. My legs are crossed in my chair. Yeah, and of course, when you're increasing your fiber, make it to go slow. Don't increase it right away. Like start from start start low from the beginning. It's like, and of course with fiber you have to drink lots of water.
Right.
Lots of water, very, very important.
Always
And
important, lots of water.
try to eliminate dairy if possible. Soak beans first, you know. Of course, avoid sugar, probiotics. This is just like a repetition of what we were talking about. And
Just
at night, do not
summarizing.
eat late. Do not eat late at night, and do not
So what's a
overeat.
good well that's that I am a culprit for that because working night shift and then you come home, you eat and then you go sleep because you're tired, you know. Sometimes you're battling sleeping hungry at the same time. So it's like okay, let's eat quickly and go to bed.
I'm
So
also bad. I'm also bad in that one. If I work 12-hour shift, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I'll be home. You know what I'm doing? Snacking,
right.
which is really bad. Well, they say 2 hours before you going to bed. That's the 2 hours. You eat two
So
hours
around
after.
2 hours
2 hours. Two
between
hours.
your last
Your last
intake
meal, last
and you're
dinner,
settling down.
dinner. Yeah, two
Hmm.
hours at least. And no caffeine, no coffee or anything like that.
No caffeine before you sleep. Okay.
No. And avoid eating just before exercising. That's also good for heartburn. As usual,
Mhm.
as I said, avoid ice cold drinks to avoid heartburn, caffeine, increase probiotic food, avoid chocolate, citrus, tomatoes, onions, peppers, peppermint. Food combining works well as it creates less work for the stomach. Proper food combining is very, very important.
Mhm.
And here are the elimination or detox pathways I was talking about. We have the skin by sweating. One good way to open the skin is skin brushing and
Mm.
Epsom salt bath.
Epsom salt bath.
That
Okay.
works, and I've been doing that at least once a week.
So you fill up the bathtub and you throw some Epsom salt in there and you just go in and soak.
Hot 1 to hot water. So make sure it's not too hot. You don't want to burn your skin, right?
All
It
right.
works. It works. And of course, the liver is the second largest detox filtration highway. The kidneys through our urine, bowels. This is the number one. Number two, the poop, the bladder. Lymphatics, very important. Men's, for women. This one is very good for lymphatic. Oh, just tapping here, here,
Mm.
here, here. The thymus gland is very, very
Mhm.
stimulated. It's very, very good. Under the armpit, do that. That's with. I do this too.
Somebody might think that we're crazy.
It's a good thing I live by myself.
Oh my goodness. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, very interesting tidbits.
yeah, yeah. Emptying the barrel. I'm thinking of the barrel as ourself, right?
Mhm.
If you are full of toxins, of stress, of
Definitely want to
EMF,
get rid of toxins. That's a
we have to
biggie.
get rid of it. We have to get rid of it. That's emptying the
And
barrel.
what's the other reason why we one very vital reason why we get gonna get rid of toxins? Because toxins leads to a lot of free radicals that causes the crazy, the wickedest C that we
Oh,
can call in our life. And
very,
everybody
very bad.
knows that big C, the one glorified, that causes, ruins families and takes people out like worse than this C that you're talking about right now. That one should be the pandemic, not this one. But anyway, that's a story for another day. So toxins, eliminating toxins, um, and in so saying, antioxidants, foods that are rich in antioxidants, to help eradicate free radicals. And let's talk about it quickly, as in berries, and your berries are very good for superfoods.
Oh yeah,
Superfoods, very very
yeah.
rich in they're free radical fighters. Which,
Providing it's
mhm,
the source. You have to consider the source, right? The earth,
right,
the soil. In those
yes.
early days, everything was really organic. But nowadays, because of pesticides and chemicals,
Yes,
of
mass
farming,
production.
of agriculture,
Hmm.
storage of food, you have to consider that. And where the food came from, how the food travels from one place to another.
Right.
Yeah, they have to put something in there for to preserve them. So when it reaches whatever, it's
It's
still
not
yeah.
very wholesome.
Mm-hmm.
If we could only plant our own, would be great. But time and geographical conditions don't allow for that, unfortunately, in certain parts of the world. But we have to do the best we can. We
Yeah.
got to do the best we can. But definitely, foods that are rich in free radicals, fighters, your berries,
Mm-hmm.
your blackberry, blueberries, all
Yeah.
those kind of berries are great super foods and powerful free radical fighters to help prevent cancer. You
Oh
know,
yeah. Actually,
tumors building up.
the cruciferous vegetables, which are like cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, the,
Hmm.
they're good cancer foods. Yeah, depending on the source where it's coming from. If you plant it in your backyard, if you know where you get it, it's safe. The
Right.
juicing is very, very helpful as well. I have
That's right.
I have some superfoods in here that I call superfoods.
Hmm.
Spirulina, chlorella. I've used this one. Berries, of course. They say berries, they use a lot of pesticide or chemicals when they grow it, so be careful. If you can get the organic ones. Bone broth, I love bone broth. Just put everything together, what vegetables you like. It could be chicken or beef or cabbage or the bok choy, celery,
Hmm.
and potatoes. Put everything together. Put 1 cup of apple cider vinegar. Cook it for 3 to 4 hours, and there you go. The broth is
Wow.
very, very healthy. I This one, because I have candida, right? Candida, I have fungal infection. I don't know how I get it, why I
Hmm.
get it. probably from stress. I had pain in my stomach, so I made that broth. I like chicken broth. When I took it, my first glass, my pain was gone. It
Wow.
it works. It works.
Bone
Yeah,
marrow broth.
bone
All
broth.
right.
Yeah. Well, if you don't have time to do it or make it, you can order it online.
Oh,
But I
really?
want,
Okay.
yeah, but I want to make my own. So I want to make
Mhm.
my own, and I think that's the end of that. I'll bring you the second part. I have some. I have an alkalizing food. Oh, let me talk about the vagus nerve. Do we have time, Nikki?
Maybe we should get onto the Vegas another time.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because that's probably gonna take another half an hour. So let's recap and ask some questions here on what we spoke about in this segment. But we definitely got to come back and do a different session on
Yeah, vagus nerve. Ask them to Google it. It will say a lot about
the
our
vagus nerve,
cranial
the
nerves.
VAGUS nerve.
Yeah, it's the 10th cranial nerve. I know you know that. You know how we have our 12 cranial nerves? That is the 10th.
Yes.
Give them a homework.
Yes.
And I would just like to add about sleep. Sleep is very, very important.
Whoa. Tell me about that.
I cannot stress it enough. It's very, very important.
Very, very important. Yes. Rest. Your
And
body needs to
also,
rejuvenate.
as much as possible, decrease or reduce gadget time or screen time, because that has the computers, the laptops, our cell phones. It has EMF, even our TV, our microwave. It
Yep.
has
Yep.
it has
Electromagnetic
radiation,
waves.
and it has radiation that's kind of toxic to the body. And
Hmm.
that is really
And
true,
our phones are
especially
with us all the time.
especially with the 5G now. Oh my
Mm.
gosh. It's really
Don't
scary.
even start about that part. My
And
God.
I just want to discuss about the three M's: mindfulness, meditation, and mantras. These are three important techniques that we should all incorporate in our daily life. This is give us this is a very good way to handle stress, because it slows brain and cardiovascular aging. This is just a side note. It gives us energy,
Hmm.
clarity, and motivation. It reduces pain and emotional stress. And of course, we experience deep and profound restoration. So, anything who wants to share to for some happy tips or health tips out there, like breathing techniques is very, very important. Breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. You can do it anytime, anywhere. While you're driving, if I'm stressed on the road, I do my breathing. When I was stressed at work, I did a lot of that. I'm sure you know that, Nikki. At least do two sets of 10 minutes of deep breathing. It reduces inflammation, and it reduces stress as well. I have two recipes here for how to alkalize with foods. It has only one, two, three, four, five, four
Yes.
ingredients: organic celery, green beans, zucchini, and potatoes. Oh, actually, it's only four ingredients. Boil them for 3 minutes in 1 liter of water. Simmer for 20 to 30 minutes. Just water. Never use meat, broth, or salt. Strain and throw away. And that's it. It's very high in minerals. Will correct poor diet, eliminate acid, and improve day and night rhythms, which is our sleep circadian rhythms. I would like to do this actually. I haven't tried it. I would like to do that and to give you an update on if it works. And I also
Yeah,
have another
that
one.
would be good.
Yeah. Well, providing they're organic, I have to find where to get them, right?
Right.
Probably Whole Foods have them. And there's another one from Dr. Bernard Jensen. Dr. Bernard Jensen is one of the patrons of nutrition. 2 to 3 medium-sized potatoes, 3 cups of water, 1 stalk chopped celery, and that's it. But this one you have to use the peel of the potatoes. Make sure it's organic. You wash it really good, peel it.
Hmm.
You use the peel about 1/8 to 1/3 inch think of potato peelings. You need 3 cups of water. Bring to a slow boil, then reduce to simmer until peelings are soft. You cook it for about 15 minutes. Strain and throw away potato peelings and celery. Makes 2 servings. It's an excellent source of organic potassium. Now
Wow.
we are on the quiz section.
Yay, quiz.
Quiz
Let
section,
me see if I can
everyone.
put this up. I have them all together on one sheet. Let me see how it's going to show on the screen here.
Yeah.
It's so small. Okay, it's too small. Okay, you're gonna have to read it for them because it's showing too small.
Okay, so number one,
Sure.
what is the purpose of digestive system? I have four here. A breaks down food into nutrients needed for metabolic processes. It's essential for providing the body with energy and building blocks it requires to maintain life. Mechanical and chemical processes are necessary to achieve optimal digestive system. And letter D, all of the above.
Any
Letter D.
takers?
Any taker? I got everything in there.
All of the above.
Yes, all of the above. Very good. It is the what, how, and why of digestive system. What are the macronutrients needed by the body? A. Basophils, neutrophils, red blood cells. B. Cytokines, macrocytes, microcytes. C. Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. D. All of the above. What are the macronutrients our body needs?
There are no takers.
No takers. Basophils, those are our white blood cells. Cytokines, microcytes. No, I don't think those are. They don't sound like food.
No.
The answer is letter C. We have carbs, proteins, and fats.
That's right.
Yeah, those are. So remember everything in moderation. And remember, fat is always the longest one to digest. So make sure uh, you consume a good fat, also good for the brain. Remember
Yes,
these myelin sheets, yeah, they need good fats. And the brain, we need good fats for the brain as well.
that's right.
Okay, oh, I was just talking about this one. Which macronutrient takes the longest to be digested? It's FATS. I was talking it a lot. Okay,
Facts.
here's a true and false question. Stress does not affect digestion. Is it true
True
or
or
false?
false? Stress does not affect digestion.
Any takers there?
I'm waiting. True or false? Does stress affect digestion? See or no?
Does stress does not, but the question is stress does not affect digestion. True or false?
False.
False. Stress has something to do with
You have ever
digestive.
been stressed and you're stressed and fear and you feel like like your whole body is just in a zone and you have to go to the bathroom you know like
Or I have
expedited.
or I have a very bad habit when I'm under a lot of stress. I'm home. I eat. I'm a stress
And eat
eater.
and eat the wrong foods as well because what they call them happy foods or
I just cannot stop eating. I can't stop eating when I'm under a lot of stress.
wow.
Yeah. Okay, number 5 question. I have only 7 questions here. Probiotics must be taken for someone who was prescribed antibiotic. True or false?
We just spoke about that.
Right. So
We just spoke about that. If you're
it's
on
true.
antibiotics,
Yeah.
are you to take probiotics? Is it good to take probiotics or no?
It's you have to take probiotic. That
Very important.
probiotic is very good for, it's a big one for digestion because it's also good for immune system. And our in our digestive system we have 80% of immunity in there.
Hmm.
It's because what we put in there, right?
That's
Some
right.
sources of probiotics. What are some sources of probiotics? I've been saying this a lot. Number letter A: candies, brownies, ice cream cake,
No
steamed
way.
chicken, fish, kimchi, sauerkraut, yogurt,
So the choices are candies or
brownies,
brownies,
ice cream cake.
ice cream,
Letter
or
B: there's meat, chicken, and fish. And
so
letter
meat.
C: kimchi, sauerkraut, yogurt.
I wish to go with C.
Yeah,
Yogurt, sauerkraut, kefir.
yeah. Make sure you get a good yogurt, a good, I like natural yogurt. I like natural. Don't get the yogurt with fruits. It has only. I don't think it's natural fruit. I think it's sugar.
And then there's a
So
little sugar in those as well. So
yeah, and check. Make sure you check
just a
your
plain
label.
yogurt with no flavor in it is the better source.
Yeah, yeah.
You know that's gonna go over our heads though. We like our flavored yogurt. And now they have the ones, the liquid ones that you just drink. You know, the
Yeah,
different
those are
flavors. Mm.
fermented yogurt. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like that. But Yakult, my grandkids love Yakult.
Right,
I
you know,
drink
the
that.
little small ones and the different flavors.
They're so expensive. Nowadays it's $5. Before it used to be.
Don't talk about the grocery store price list. No, that's a different story for another day. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh my gosh.
yep.
Prices are just really good. Okay.
Good to see you, Minister Barbara Johnson. Welcome. We're on the wrapping up now of digestion. And
Okay,
Miss
so
Minister
number
Johnson, she's also a frontline worker, so we're saying Happy Nurses Week to all the frontline workers
yeah.
today.
Okay,
Yes.
here's the last question. Bitters. Bitters are very, very important for digestion. It's very, very important. Like
True.
arugula, dandelion leaves, radicchio are good sources to consume for liver health. True or false?
True.
Yay!
All right, all right, all right.
All right.
We've had quite a lesson here today. And if you've missed it, you want to go back and check it out. From ingestion to elimination, the process of digestion, peristalsis, digestive juices, enzymes. We spoke about the
Chewing.
whole
Don't forget chewing.
chewing. That's where it starts from, in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Savor the taste. Take your time, chew slowly, savor the taste. And we learned that we're not supposed to drink when we're eating. It's not good because we're washing out the enzymes out of our stomach that helps to break down the food and digest them. So it's not good to drink when you're eating. You gotta wait for a little bit before you can drink. As well as it's not good to drink cold water. Room temperature water or warm water is better, right? So there's so many nuggets that we've learned in this session, and I do encourage you to go back and and replay the video and learn a few things. But I want to thank Cora so much for taking the time to sit down, prepare. I mean, it must have taken a moment to prepare this together, a whole of an hour and a half worth of lessons on digestion, the do, the don'ts, what's normal, what's not, even our stools, what's normal, what's not, and you got to know, about frequency, color,
Yeah.
consistency, all that kind of stuff why it's important to know what's normal, because that will tell you what's happening with your health. So there's so many things we've learned, we spoke about today on Digestion 101. We'll be coming back at some point. Don't know just when, on a different topic, but it's been great. So I think it's very important to revisit Health 101 and come with a different topic where we can talk about our health and learn from each other. So I want to thank you, Cora, for coming in today and taking the time out to prepare and then spend the time to teach us and educate us on this topic. So it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure indeed having you today.
It's my pleasure. And don't forget, check out my website, CRS Holistic Wellness. It's gonna be
Let me type it on the blog. Say it again. CRS
Holistic Wellness. Holistic starts with a W.
With a W. So it's CRS W
HO.
Okay, holistic. LISTIC.
Yeah, wellness.
Wellness. Okay.
Yeah.
.com.
.com. Yeah, it's www.crsholisticwellness.com.
All right. So check her out there, and you can learn some more stuff on wellness, all about
also I'm working on
wellness.
My Facebook account, so pretty soon it's gonna be up and running.
All right.
I'm a newbie, so be patient with me.
It was fun. It was great. We laughed and we learned. Praise God. So I thank you so much again for coming in today, and all the best on your future endeavors. I know that you have some future plans to open your own wellness clinic, and we're looking forward to that. So I'll keep you in prayer for that as well, and the Lord will definitely see you through in that and all the success for that. So God bless you, and we look forward to Health 102.
Yeah.
Health 102. Whatever the topic is going to be, Health 102 next time. All right. So we'll keep in touch, and we'll be back again to talk more on our health, because we're definitely, this body is what we host the Holy Spirit, where it's our temple of the living God, and we want to make sure we take care of it so that we can use it, to the best efficiency for the kingdom of God and for the work of God. So if we don't take care of it, then it's gonna lay up in the hospital bed somewhere, and then we can't do nothing. So it's very important that we're taking good care of this body here. Glory to God. So thank you, Sister Cora. Thank you so much again, and have a blessed rest of the evening. All right, bye for now. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, God
bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. That was fun. That was great. That was informative and educational. And if you just came in later, you want to go back and take a listen, I guarantee you will learn a thing or two on digestion. So thank you all for staying with us for the duration of the program. I just want to say a few commercials, a few updates as to what's happening, what's coming up next week. Next week, Thursday at 4:30. We resume back at 4:30 with Minister Emerald Henry is coming to give us a word on the song, Put Your Trust in God.
Now put your trust in God.
And He will make a way. Put your trust in God.
Put your trust in God.
And He will see you through. Put your trust in God.
Now put your trust in God.
Ooh, put your trust in God.
Put your trust in God.
Ooh.
Yes, indeed. That song is called Put Your Trust in God. The word of God from the Breaking Me to Bless Me album. And Minister Emerald will be bringing a word to us next week, Thursday at 4:30 on how to put your trust in God. We live in a time when we need to have faith elevated to the highest level, because there's so many things that's happening around us, and we need to know and learn how to develop and increase our faith and trust in God. So we're looking forward to that word next week, Thursday, God's willing. Do follow me as well on the Enrichment Gospel Hour, which is every Monday at 9 a.m. Jamaica time, 10 a.m. Eastern. Do go and follow that page on Facebook as well, Enrichment Gospel Hour. Follow and like the page so you can be notified. So coming up this Monday, we'll be having another enriching moment on the Enrichment Gospel Hour. So here's a commercial for that.
It's a time of spiritual enrichment. Yes. Tune into the Enrichment Gospel Hour every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern with highly favored Blake, as we strive to enrich your lives through music, prayer, and the inspired Word of God. We also have live interviews with gospel ministers as they share their ministry. Tune into Roots 96.1 FM and Roots FM on YouTube and Facebook. Contact us at enrichmentgospel@gmail.com to promote your church event, businesses, and services. Tune in and be blessed.
Yes, indeed. It's the Enrichment Gospel Hour, and we're calling all gospel ministers, all gospel artists. If you're an author as well, do come out and promote your book. We do that as well. We have promotional packages and interviews for artists every Monday at 9 a.m. Jamaican time, 10 a.m. Eastern. And if you got a event happening at your church, or you're advertising your business event or business, products, whatever, you can also advertise with us on Roots FM 96.1 Jamaica. So we thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to having you back next week. If you have not followed the page as of yet, please do follow and like the page for future notifications. I'm in the process right now of booking artists for the Father's Day show. So if you're an artist, you got a song, if you're a poet, if you're an actor, and you want to do something to represent Father's Day, please do join us on that as well. You are welcome. All are welcome to perform on the shows. So just message me and I will have you on. All right. So we look forward to having you next week. Thank you for joining, and have a blessed rest of the week. And do go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe and like if you have not done so as yet. Highly favored Blake. So run on over and subscribe and like and enjoy the music that are there. All right. So God bless you. Until next week, you have been in tune to Song and the Word. God bless.